Today's editorial is all about Today's editorial is all about the awards given in the field of science and the change in the name, the objectives, and what exactly the scientists need to carry on with their research work. An important editorial because it comes under science and technology. It also comes under policy matters related to science and scientists, and there are some important words you have to learn. Let us start the session with the question, what is enrichment? As usual, you improve your comprehension skill, an important one because it's all about awards in the field of or in the sphere of science and related to scientists. A few important words are there: vocabulary, grammar consolidation, effective English, and today also no mini mocks, no vocab consolidation. We'll be doing it. Good morning, Nagajyoti. Let us go to the question: what is this editorial about? The editor critiques the recent decision by the Indian government to replace the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar SSB Awards with the Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar (RVP) as part of a broader restructuring of national awards for scientists. There are two dimensions over here. One, it is the new name given to Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Awards, and also it is about the restructuring related to awards that go with the scientists. What is the tone? The tone of the article is a critical and concerned, criticizing the government and concerned. Why is it concerned? Because it takes a particular stand and says what scientists need is not the awards. No doubt they need awards for motivation and inspiration, but more than awards, what they need is the funds to do research. They lack the funds, they lack the right equipment or the latest equipment, and that should be the focus area. Funding the scientists, very important. Let us go to editorial vocabulary. The very first one, perfunctory, an important word given many a time in different competitive exams. Perfunctory, part of speech adjective, done without much effort, care, or interest, carried out with a minimum effort or reflection. But a simple word I tell students, it means something like superficial, not going deep into something, not deliberating, not analyzing deeply, and then you do it casually for the name's sake. Then it is called perfunctory. An important word though. Example: the teacher's perfunctory explanation of the topic left the students confused. Imagine the teacher does not go deep and does not provide a lucid explanation regarding something. Obviously, the students get confused. The teacher has to go deep into the topic and provide an insight, deep understanding of the concept. But perfunctory teaching will definitely confuse the student. Synonyms: superficial, cursory, hasty, automatic. Cursory, an important word, hasty also, everyday English. And opposite, you can think of words like profound. Profound means going deep. Deliberations, again, deep thought, important words. This we got the other day. A rejig, a revamp, a rejig, both mean the same. Rejig, part of speech, verb, to organize, rearrange, or alter something in a different way, often to improve it. In a nutshell, a restructure, revamp. Look at the example. The company decided to rejig its marketing strategy to boost sales. Sometimes what happens because of the market dynamics, the company may not get enough profits or what it deserves. They have to rejig the marketing strategy to meet the dynamic challenges that go with a particular market. Synonyms: rearrange, restructure, modify, revamp. Maintain, keep, preserve, stagnate. Preserve and stagnate, in a way, same meaning but opposite connotations. Preserve goes more with a positive connotation, stagnation goes more with a negative context. Important words. Confer. Confer goes with a title, confer goes with an award. In this context, an award given to a scientist. To grant or bestow a title, degree, benefit, or right. Usually it goes with title, award also. To discuss or exchange ideas. We don't use a second meaning. Usually it goes with the first meaning. To give or to bestow a person with a particular title or an award. The university will confer an honorary degree on the renowned scientist. An honorary. This is important because here a lot of people say ha, honorary. No, H is silent. Because of silent or mute H, we have to say an honor, an honest person, an honorary degree. Bestow or confer an honorary degree on the renowned scientist. Renowned scientist, a lot of reputation, people know him. You can also say a man of repute. A man of repute also means the same, renowned person. Ah, exactly. Synonyms: bestow, grant, award, discuss. Antonyms: withdraw, deny, retract, withhold. Stature. When we talk about a particular person, we talk about his stature. Stature means the perception, the image he or she has in the eyes of the public. The importance, a reputation, or influence gained by ability or achievement. This goes with achievement. A particular field, in this context, science, a scientist has a lot of reputation, has achieved a lot or accomplished a lot, and he has a particular stature. People respect him because of his accomplishment. Her stature in the scientific community is unmatched due to her groundbreaking research. Groundbreaking, something very important, innovative, showing the path for the next generations. Based on that, she has acquired a different stature, means a very good position in the eyes of the public. Prestige, status, a reputation, eminence. Generally, we talk about scientists, we use eminent scientist. That combination also you have to know. Insignificance, obscurity, mediocrity, lowliness. Obscure, an important one. What is the reason? Obscure has two different meanings. One meaning obscure, it means vague, not clear. But here, obscure also means not known to many people. Imagine there's a person, a writer, highly talented, but people don't know about that writer, though he's talented. Then we say obscure a writer, obscure scientist, obscure hill station, an important word because of the second meaning. Tokenism. Tokenism means doing or saying something for the sake of it, not in the real sense. Part of speech noun, the practice of making only a perfunctory. As I said, perfunctory means a superficial, not well known. That's right, Manas. Perfunctory or symbolic effort to be inclusive to members of minority groups, especially by recruiting a small number of people from underrepresented groups to give the appearance of equality. A lengthy one, but in a nutshell, what it means: doing something for the sake of it, or saying something for the sake of it, not in the real sense. Imagine I talk about a particular issue, and to prove my point, I may touch 1% of that particular issue for the sake of it. That is known as a tokenism. Look at the example. The company's hiring of one female executive was seen as a mere tokenism. Today, at the workplace, we talk about gender equality and we want equal representation, men and women. A company says, yes, we do believe in gender equality, but the company recruits only one female executive. That is nothing but tokenism for the sake of it. What are the synonyms? Symbolism, superficiality, pretense. Pretense means acting. Facade. Facade, not exactly here. How do you pronounce this? Facade. Facade means the front portion of a building. If you take a big, huge building, usually the architects they focus more on the front part, elevation, because the moment you see the building, you should get impressed. The front part is called facade. You got to be careful with the pronunciation of that particular word. Antonyms: genuine effort, sincerity, authenticity, substantive action. In the real sense, you do something, not in the real sense for the sake of it, tokenism. There's another expression we also say, a lip service. He always goes in for lip service. A lip service means the same thing, tokenism, saying something for the sake of it, but not in the real sense. Milieu. Milieu, you can say it means all the different factors that go with. You can also pronounce as milieu. That is also possible. All the factors, physical, social, cultural, that go with a particular person, environment that a person is exposed to. A person's social environment or surroundings, especially the culture and society in which they live. Based on the word surroundings, you have to know one particular important word. I'm sure you all know the word environment, but here environ, plural environs. Environs means the surroundings of a particular area. That's an important word. He grew up in an artistic milieu that greatly influenced his career as a painter. Obviously, synonyms: environment, setting, background, atmosphere. Antonyms: isolation, solitude, exclusion, alienation. Not exactly the opposite words, but two words are important: isolation, alienation, to be cut off from the mainstream culture. Imagine tribal people. Tribal people are not part of the mainstream culture, and there's a problem. We say tribal alienation means they're not part of the mainstream culture. They're isolated. Solitude also you have to remember. Tangible. My students know these words. Quite often while teaching grammar, I use two words. One concrete, the other abstract. The word concrete has many meanings. In this context, something you can see or touch, concrete. What is opposite? Abstract. Something you cannot see, you cannot touch. For example, if I say a pen you can see, you can touch also. That is concrete. If I say Indian culture, society, you cannot show them, you cannot touch, they're abstract. For these two words, we also use words like concrete, we say tangible, and abstract, we say intangible. Here the word is tangible, adjective. Perceptible by touch, capable of being touched or felt, having actual physical presence, clear and definite, real. As I said, something real. You can see, you can touch. That is tangible. The success of the project was a tangible result of the team's hard work. They could see the success. That means something physical. That is because of the team's hard work. Tangible, perceptible, and not tangible, not perceptible. Concrete, palpable, real, substantial. Intangible, abstract, unreal, insubstantial. Same words I have just used. Elude. Last week we got the word elusive. Elude, part of speech verb. To escape from or avoid something, typical in a skillful or cunning way. To fail to be grasped or understood by someone. Something is elusive, means you cannot understand. The solution to the problem continues to elude the researchers, means they are not able to find a solution to the problem. Evade, escape, avoid, dodge. These words you have to remember. Confront, encounter, capture, understand. Let us go to the editorial. What is this editorial? Stimulus, perfunctory panacea. Perfunctory means superficial, not deep, not profound. And panacea we have already got, means one solution for many problems, one medicine for all the diseases. We use the word panacea. So, superficial solution, what it means, the editorial says, whatever the government has recently done, the rejig related to the awards that go with the scientists, in a way, superficial, perfunctory, and not superficial solution, panacea. On the Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar, that is a new name in place of Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Awards. Scientists, what is the main idea? Scientists need greater funding for research, not national awards. As I said at the outset, to provide the background information, today we talk in terms of developed countries, developing countries. Developed countries, they do have a lot of the latest equipment they do have, and have funds to for scientists to carry on with the research work. When it comes to a developing country, obviously, two things are missing. One, the funds are missing. If the funds are not, you can't expect the latest world class infrastructure or cutting edge technology. And the scientists cannot do research. It focuses on what they need is greater funding for research, not the awards. That is a stand taken by the editorial. Later this month, 33 scientists will be awarded future tense passive voice. The Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar (RVP), the current government's revamped approach, the current incumbent government's revamped, rejigged, and restructured approach to independent India's long tradition of annually awarding scientists with promise. India has a tradition, long tradition. What is that? Annually awarding the scientists of caliber, scientists of reputation, scientists with a lot of intellectual caliber. The rejig is in doing away with the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar SSB awards. What is this revamp? What is this restructure? What is this rejig about? It is about doing away, means stopping, not continuing with something. Doing away with the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar SSB awards, once awarded to scientists under 45. There's age restriction under 45, below 45. Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Awards, once awarded to scientists under 45 by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, apex body. It comprised a certificate. So, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, what would they give in the past? It does not take the preposition of. It comprised a certificate, a cash prize, and some additional monetary benefits. The RVP replaces it with a medal and a certificate. The new one, RVP, replaces that with what? A medal and a certificate, and renaming it the Vigyan Yuva SSB. New name has been given, Vigyan Yuva SSB. There are also other RVP awards, the Vigyan Shri, Vigyan Ratna, Vigyan Team Awards. New titles, new awards. The former means first in position, latter means second in position. The latter will be for scientists of over 45 who have made distinguished contributions in science. Please excuse me. The new awards, the latter will be for scientists over 45 who have made distinguished contributions in science and technology over the entire career as well, as were teams of scientists and technologists with exceptional contribution. All these are about the new titles, new awards, and the recipients. Who are they? Below 45, under 45, above 45. The second part of the editorial is about the stand taken by the editorial, whether there is a need to do that, and what is important for the scientists. Is it the awards or is it the funds? In theory, the total number of awards under all categories is capped at 56. Capped at 56, that is a limit. Though those selected for this year are fewer than the ceiling. Means not 56, fewer than. Very important word. Here, common error, a lot of people say less than. When you use a countable noun, you should use a few. Uncountable, less. Here, comparative, fewer, fewer than. And have given this in many exams because it goes with common errors. Fewer than the ceiling. The team award has been conferred, means given to, has been conferred, present perfect passive voice, on the Indian Space Research Organization's Chandrayaan 3 team, which certainly has over 3 members. These may well be technicalities, and being the first edition of the prizes could be transitional. The first edition, based on some technicalities, and in future they may change. Transitional means a change. The list of awardees spans a wide range of fields from astrophysics to agriculture, and this is not unique to the RVP. The awardees are overwhelmingly from centrally funded and the most elite of India's scientific and research institutions, such as the Indian Institutes of Technology, Indian Institutes of Science and Education and Research, CSIR, and Atomic Energy Institution. So these two sentences talk about one, the range from which field to which field, astrophysics to agriculture. And it also talks about the range of recipients. Obviously, most of the awards went to the central institutions. All these are central institutions, and that is expected in a way. The RVP awards were instituted after Ministry of Home Affairs and heads of science departments concluded in 2022 that there were too many awards being given out by individual scientific departments, and that it was necessary to trim, means reduce the number, them, and raise their stature to national awards. Individual department gives it is not of national importance. The stature comes down, but only a few awards at the national level, the stature becomes national. While distinguished scientists have always received the Padma Awards, just as those in other fields, the original scheme for scientist specific awards was to encourage them to stick to research whose outcomes are not always immediately tangible. When a scientist does work, research work, the immediate impact or achievement may not be tangible. Over a period of time, it could be tangible, that means concrete, and whose impact is not immediately assessed. Based on that, we cannot assess immediately the impact of that particular research work. Much like Olympic medals, Nobel Prizes continue to elude Indian scientists. Much like today, if you look at India, the number of awards we get in the Olympics or Nobel Prizes, only a few. Much like Olympic medals, Nobel Prizes continue to elude Indian scientists. That means we haven't been getting. And this has been a touchy topic for many governments. The national awards are not a substitute or catalyst for the Nobels. They are not a substitute, they are not a catalyst for Nobel Prize. In a way, independent. The government should not assume that scientists only crave honor and recognition. It is again a stand taken by the editorial. The government should not think that scientists always crave for recognition. Crave means to have the desire for something, recognition and honor. Basically, what they need, funding is required. Too many scientists in India labor with minimal funds, substandard equipment, and a discouraging milieu, forcing them to compete at the cutting edge of research with their hands tied. This is what the stand taken by the editorial. What is the problem of the scientists today in our country? They have two problems. One, lack of funds. The other, they don't have the sophisticated equipment. Without sophisticated equipment, a scientist cannot do research. And without funds also, the scientist cannot do research. And these two things are very clearly missing. Too many scientists in India labor with minimal funds, one problem, substandard equipment, another problem, and a discouraging milieu, that means environment, forcing them to compete at the cutting edge of research with their hands tied. They have to have these two, only then they can compete internationally. Raising the budgetary allocation and making scientific research more rewarding in India will do greater service to science than tokenism. How does the editorial end? Instead of doing something for the namesake, tokenisms, doing for the sake of it, namesake, what is expected? Raising the budgetary allocation means the funds. and making scientific research more rewarding in India will do greater service to science than tokenism. Tokenism is of no use in any field. That's all about the editorial, an important one you have to read twice or thrice to comprehend. Need a bit of scientific background, not in the real sense, but it is something very specific that goes with science. You got to read twice or thrice. Try to answer the questions. The editorial suggests that Indian scientists primarily need which of the following? What is the primary need of Indian scientists? More national awards? No. Greater funding for research, international recognition, enhanced publicity. They need greater funding, clearly mentioned in the editorial. That is a stand taken by the editorial. Which team has been awarded the team category in the first edition of the RVP? RVP, the first edition for the teams. Which team has bagged the award? Chandrayaan 3 team, clearly mentioned. Which one is it? The first one. According to the editorial, what is a significant challenge faced by scientists in India? According to the editorial has taken a stand and expressed a few ideas, views rather, excessive recognition, insufficient funds and substandard equipment. Same wording has been used, insufficient funds and substandard equipment. Not. What does the editorial imply about the effectiveness of national awards in advancing Indian science? Editorial imply, an important word, and also an important question, means indirectly convey they are the best way to motivate scientists. They might help, but are not a substitute for better research funding. It talks about the effectiveness of national awards. What does the editorial imply? Editorial implies that they are no doubt they may encourage the scientist, but what is essential for the scientist? Funding is essential, indispensable. They might help, but are not a substitute for better research funding. Funding is very important. No, fourth one, it is not effectiveness of national awards. They might help in motivating, inspiring, but that is not what the scientists need. Scientists need greater funding. They are crucial for winning Nobel Prizes. No, they should be abolished altogether. Ridiculous. What concern does the editorial raise regarding the distribution of the RVP awards? Some concern. What is the concern raised by the editorial? Too few awards are given to young scientists. The awards are dominated by elite institutions, clearly mentioned, and listed out the institutions also. The do not cover enough scientific fields. The selection process is not transparent. Answer is B. Yes. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. After the session, we'll provide the PDF. Try to access the PDF. Thank you very much.